Hi everyone, how are you? Adriana Barros here, certified BodyTalk practitioner. I would like to welcome you to our 30-day BodyTalk Cortices technique tapping challenge. And this is our day 23 out of the 30-day tapping challenge. And I would love to know how it's been happening for you. If you've been progressing fine, if you've been tapping your cortices every day, if you haven't skipped any day, and making sure that you are tapping your cortices morning and night, or more times during the day if that's what you need. That's perfectly fine. And also, if you've been sharing this technique with people who need some stress relief at this time. And this is a very powerful technique in BodyTalk that can really make changes on the functioning of the brain and the communication between the brain and the rest of the body, promoting health. So for those who do not know about the BodyTalk system, BodyTalk is a very deep and comprehensive BodyTalk system that is designed to balance, bring harmony, and correct internal issues of body and mind. It is really designed to reconnect the communication between brain and rest of the body, which gets compromised when the body is under stress. This communication being interrupted can deeply interfere and compromise the functioning of the different body parts and systems, which in the long run will show in form of disease. For that matter, it's important that we address the issue rather sooner than later, because if not, eventually all those memories will get stored as deeply as on our subconscious and connective tissues. The connective tissues or fascia is the tissue that covers our body in a 3D mode. So think of our body being looked internally as in a 3D image, and the fascia is the tissue that really holds everything internally together. If it wasn't for fascia, all our body parts, internal organs, veins, bones, everything would be falling apart. And the fascia really goes through every single body part and interferes with the functioning of each of them profoundly. That's why we need to make sure that nothing gets stored in there, and that we clear the memories of everything that we live, everything negative, because with time we'll start paying the price. So BodyTalk, for those who don't know, is quantum physics based, and it can be done remotely or hands-on by a practitioner, in this case me. And it is possible because quantum physics states that we are all one, we all come from the same energy source, and we are all connected. We are all connected externally, and everything internally inside our bodies is also connected. That's why we think in a different way as compared to the Cartesian method. The Cartesian method is a method that looks at the body in different body parts and will isolate everything and treat them separately without making any assumption that they are communicating with each other, and those body parts depend on each other in order to function. That's when you go to your Western medicine doctor and you are prescribed a medication, and that medication will act upon the symptom. If the imbalance of what you're experiencing at the moment is on the physical level, then yes, you can heal from that medication. But if you keep using that medication or taking it, applying it, and there's no changes to the physical body, it means that the breakdown of the communication, the root of the cause of that problem did not start on the physical level. So we need to go back and start looking at which other level within the body-mind that imbalance started. For that reason, in BodyTalk, we start addressing emotions, we start going back in your history, in time, and really trying to find out what are the causes. So we look for the root cause of the breakdown of that communication. And after that's found, after we have that, which is usually comes up to a practitioner in a form of a formula then it's possible to integrate that formula into the body of the individual, and the changes start happening from that point on. The communication is done through neuromuscular biofeedback, and once I, as a practitioner, communicate, get the answers to the imbalances, find out which ones they are, where they are, then I integrate that formula into the person's, the individual's body, mind, and 3 brains. So the 3 brains is where we're gonna tap using the tapping technique, which is an ancient technique, an indigenous technique that will help me integrate those changes into the body-mind. And once that's done, the body starts healing itself automatically. And healing in BodyTalk is as deep as cellular and quantum levels. That's why we say that BodyTalk is a very deep therapy, because it addresses everything in the body-mind. So it's not only the thinking mind, the conscious mind. Everything is stored in the subconscious that's not moving, it's not going anywhere, and it's really affecting the functioning of your body, needs to go. So we need to clear that. So we prevent the individual from developing diseases. And that's why BodyTalk is a preventive, holistic healthcare system, because of the approach, because of how it looks at the body-mind. Okay? And I personally work with people, I work with animals, either hands-on or remotely. And due to the quantum physics principle, which states that everything is one and connected, then I am able to connect with the individuals everywhere around the globe. And everybody then connecting with me through BodyTalk is capable to receive the changes, that energy, and start promoting that correction within their body-mind. Okay, so back to the cortices. The cortices technique is the main technique in BodyTalk. It's a very powerful technique that is really designed to reconnect the 2 hemispheres of the brain, bring clarity of mind, communication, and really correct the different thinking patterns within the brain. When we do that, we are tapping on the head, on the heart, and on the enteric brain. So these are the 3 brains, to really activate those changes, to make the head, the 3 brains, the head brain, heart brain, and enteric brain, to not only activate the changes, but store the memories and correct and decide to really make those corrections. And we use the polarity of the hand, north and south poles, to really make this connection. And with the tapping, we're creating a standing wave to really do the activation and distribution of that current within the body-mind. And that's why then everything starts shifting. And while we're doing that, we are covering different parts of the brain, so all brain parts, to activate functions within each different part and make sure that everything starts functioning accordingly and properly. Okay, once that's done, then we activate that functioning within the brain again, that reactivation of the communication between the 2 hemispheres, so everything can start functioning and the body starts healing again. Because the body knows how to heal itself, but it gets compromised, confused on how to do it when it is under stress. And then we want to really clear the pathways for the body perform its own role and do what it needs to do. Okie doke. So get one of the hands placed on the very back of the skull, on the base, and that's the occipital lobe. That's where we have memories, and we store memories in there. And then we're going to start moving forward. So we're going to tap with the other hand very lightly, but for as many times as you want to tap, and you tap for 2 full breaths. So people tap as fast or not as they want to, but it doesn't matter. And light tapping is enough. It doesn't need to be hard. So you keep moving up. No spaces left between hand positions, because we want to make sure that we are not leaving cold spots behind. So we're going to clear any blockages within the brain and make sure that it's thinking properly. When we get to the very top of the brain, the parietal lobe, that's where sensations are stored. Then we're going to go on to the thinking brain, which is the frontal lobe. And we're going to tap. Then we're going to do the emotional brain. Make sure that both sides are connected by both hands. Let go with one hand first, and you tap. Then you're going to connect one more time and tap. Connect again, and just to close off. And that's the taps. Excuse me. And that's the Cortices technique. So once all brain parts are connected and covered, and we're done, the brain starts already doing what it has to do in order to heal. And then hopefully, you know, that condition that you thought of when you're tapping the cortices is being addressed directly, and that's when I tell you that I'd like to see you concentrating on one condition and looking at that for 30 days and see how far you've come. Okay, so teach this technique to everybody you know. Make sure that people are healing and lowering their stress levels at this time of really confusion and stress on the planet. And some people are in really desperate times right now. Some people are like really stuck. They don't even know what to do in order to start getting some relief. So if you know of anybody like that, make sure you share this technique, okay? It's natural, there's no side effects, and they can be taking medication, doing whatever they're doing, but they're just having this as a support system. Okie doke, and I'll connect with you again tomorrow for our next video. You take care. Bye now.